Gauranga, Nityananda, Gauranga. Gauranga, Gauranga, Nityananda, Gauranga. Gauranga, Gauranga, Nityananda, Gauranga. Nityananda, Gauranga. Gauranga, Gauranga, Nityananda, Gauranga. Gauranga, Gauranga, Nityananda, Gauranga. Hey, good morning, everybody. Let's see here. Gauranga, Gauranga, Nityananda, Gauranga. Good morning, everybody. Thank you for coming. Hey, Maria. Thank you. And Lalita's here. Funny. All right. How's Noodles doing there? How's Brenda? Good morning there, Lalita. Welcome. Let's play with that rascal of Vrindavan. Let's go visit Lord Caitanya's Sankirtan movement. Let's hang out with Nityananda and the devotees for a while. Advaita. Let's check out Jesus and Prabhupada. Let's see if they're hanging out together. I bet they are. If not, we'll bring them together for a meeting. Jeez. Oh, I think they laughed at the joke. We got them laughing. That's a good sign, man. We got them laughing. Jesus Prabhupada, Jesus Prabhupada, St. Paul. Jesus Prabhupada, Jesus Prabhupada, St. Paul. Jesus Prabhupada, Jesus Prabhupada, St. Paul. Jesus Prabhupada, Jesus Prabhupada, Jesus Prabhupada, Jesus. Jesus Prabhupada, Jesus Prabhupada. 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 St. Paul. Jesus Prabhupada, Jesus Prabhupada. St. Paul. Jesus Prabhupada, Jesus Prabhupada. Shri Advaita Nityananda Shri Krishna Chaitanya. Shri Advaita Nityananda Shri Krishna Chaitanya. Shri Advaita Nityananda Shri Krishna Chaitanya. Shri Advaita Shri Advaita Nityananda Shri Krishna Chaitanya. Shri Advaita Nityananda Shri Krishna Chaitanya. Shri Krishna Chaitanya. Shri Krishna Chaitanya. Shri Krishna Chaitanya. Shri Advaita Nityananda Shri Krishna Chaitanya. Shri Advaita Nityananda Shri Krishna Chaitanya. Shri Advaita Nityananda Shri Krishna Chaitanya. Shri Krishna Chaitanya. Shri Advaita Nityananda Shri Krishna Chaitanya. Shri Advaita Nityananda Shri Krishna Chaitanya. 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 Nityananda Nityananda Shri Krishna Chaitanya. Shri Advaita Nityananda Nityananda Shri Krishna Chaitanya. Shri Krishna Chaitanya. Shri Krishna Chaitanya. Shri Krishna Chaitanya. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Krishna, Krishna. Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Krishna, Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Krishna, Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama. Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Krishna, Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. I remember there was a story in the Chaitanya Charitamrita. This Kalidas, he used to love to take the prasadam of the devotees and get really ecstatic when he would do it. And so anyway, he would. There was a puddle of water where the Lord would put. He would wash his feet there and then go into the temple. Lord Caitanya, he'd wash his feet there, and Kalidas, and all the devotees would forbid this Kalidas from going and taking that water, because the Lord ordered, no, you don't take this water in this puddle. Nobody can do it. It's my order, right? So everybody was afraid to take that water, except the intimate associates. They would take that water by some trick. And Kalidas just went right in there and took the water up, even though the devotees were guarding that water. They wouldn't allow, they said, no, nobody can take it. It's the Lord's order. He wouldn't take that water. But Kalidas went in there, he took, and the Lord was there, and he took one palmful, then two, and then three. And the Lord grabbed his hand and said, that's it. I've fulfilled your desire as far as possible. See, it's desire. Yeah. So anyway, there's these little things in Raganuga Bhakti. He who have ears, let them hear. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Sometimes the devotees act like the government, But an intelligent person says, I don't listen to the government. I do what I want. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna. This is Raganuga Bhakti after all. A lot of intricate principles here taught. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Krishna, Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Rama, Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna. There was another story like that. There are so many. It was amazing. There was a little boy. He loved Lord Caitanya, you know, but he had a beautiful mother. This is also Chaitanya Charitamrita. Lita remembers the story. Yeah, he had a beautiful mother, and anyway, the Lord was a strict sannyasi, you know, and so the devotee, especially the strict ones, Swarab Damodar Pandit, not Swarab Damodar, some of this Damodar Pandit, he was very strict, like Lighty, you know, said, no, you can't go see the Lord. Your mother's too beautiful. People will criticize Lord Chaitanya. You know, if he does it, they'll say he's associating with this your beautiful mother. You know, and so anyway, the little boy, he had so much greed. He didn't listen. He just went and saw Lord Chaitanya anyway. You know, Lord Chaitanya talked with him like, you know, like nothing. You know, just there was no problem. You know, nothing. And the devotee, he just so. And every time the boy would come, he tried to forbid him, and didn't care because his life and soul was the Lord. You know, he'd just go and talk to the Lord, and the Lord would talk to him. You know, just like friends. You know, and all this. You know, see, spiritual greed. What obstacles can you overcome to fulfill your desire? Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare. Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare. Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare. Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare. Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare, Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Krishna, Hare Krishna, 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 Hare Hare, Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Krishna, Hare Krishna. Okay. Jaya Jaya Sri Chaitanya. I feel like talking, I don't know why. I should feel like chanting, but I feel like talking. Let's see, let's read from the database, chapter. This is Chaitanya Charitamrita, chapter 4, in the Adi Lila. Adi Lila, Chaitanya Charitamrita, chapter 4. The confidential reasons of Lord Chaitanya's appearance. And I'm going to get right to it. Verse number 5. Lalita, why don't you read text 5?
Unmute my mic first and then go to the text. Thank you, Guru Maharaj. Oh glories, oh glories. Jaya Jaya Sri Krishna Chaitanya. Jaya Nityananda. Jaya Sri Advaita Chandra. Jaya Guru Bhakta Vrinda. I have given the essential meaning of the fourth verse. This incarnation, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he descends to propagate the chanting of the holy name and spread love of God. Although this is true.
Yeah. Actually, what he's saying is sort of true and sort of untrue. He just wants to explain it. He came to propagate the chanting of the holy name and spread love of God. And the way he did it was tasting. He came to taste this holy name publicly because that's the only way to spread it. So, Karuna sends this thing across my desk on Facebook is my desk, so across my desk I get the news, all the news, world news, Vaishnava news, all kinds of news. And so when I'm looking at this, Raganuga Bhakti, sounds intriguing, And maybe he heard the whole thing. I just listened to a little bit. I didn't have time this morning to listen. Well, I probably wouldn't listen to the whole thing. I'd listened to enough. But what I saw is what I've seen, my own experience. I've been with all these devotees talking about Raganuga Bhakti, and it's just talking about it. And it sounds good to the intellect because it comes from the devotees. They parrot the verses and they memorize them and they talk about Raganugas like this, and it sounds good to the mind. And you think this guy's an authority because they have a nice devotee. And by the way, I know that guy. I was living in Vrindavan. He was there. He wrote a nice book, Chaitanya Mangal. Well, he didn't write it. He translated it. He did a pretty good job, Chaitanya Mangal. Thank you for that. And here's my payback. I had enough of. I'm so sorry. I'm done with that. I'm over that, man. The hearing, Raganuga Bhakti. No, it takes anybody, anytime, and all this. And never do you see Raganuga Bhakti. You only hear it's, parroted, like by these persons, and they show their, like, well, don't you see I'm a Raganuga? Don't you see my tilak? Don't you see my dhoti? Don't you see I'm sannyas? Don't you see I'm initiated by Prabhupada? Don't you see I'm living with the Radhakund Babajis? What I don't see are the qualifications. Where are the tears, man? Where's the ecstasy? Why are you talking about Raganuga Bhakti? This, I've been heard it talk, but no shows. And everybody doesn't know what Raganuga Bhakti is from these people. And then when they see it for real here, they don't like it. Because they never learned what it is. And that goes for the same thing with Bhagavad Gita. They haven't heard yet. And it goes for Bhagavatam. They haven't heard that book yet. They haven't heard, especially Chaitanya Leela. You see that post I said? Manly P. Hall says, when symbolism is unlocked, humanity will be free. Basically, something like that. And it's true. The Lord empowers his real devotees with real bhakti, man, with really to spread, to chant the holy name like he did. The Lord came here to do that, to chant in ecstasy before the public and say, hey, you can do this also. We unlock the symbolism of Chaitanya Leela. Is basically why the Lord came here. What is Raganuga Bhakti? Well, let us show you. It's like Arjuna. The Lord says, would you like me, Krishna says, would you like me to tell you about my opulence, or would you like me to show you my opulences? No, well, hey man, if you can show it, show it. Don't just tell me, let's see. Well, that's Raganuga Bhakti. People have been talking about it, and you don't know, do they really have it or what? It sounds okay to the mind, but nobody learns about it. Then when they see it, because people, the only way to teach it is by tasting it, like Lord Caitanya did. Publicly, before your eyes. Then you see the relationship, the intimate relationship between a devotee and the Lord, and it can be for you too, if you accept. Do you like? Raganuga Bhakti can happen, like, what did it say? You can have Raganuga Bhakti anytime? No, that's not exactly true. Yeah, is it here? Is it with the devotees? Definitely not with these guys. You can't have it through listening to him or anybody. There are thousands of devotees like that now talking about Raganuga Bhakti. No, maybe not that. Maybe hundreds. Claiming to be expert. People need to see spontaneous devotional service. See, raga, transcendental rasa, man. Who's tasting that? What, just talking about it? Anybody could parrot. I could memorize verses and say, oh, I'm an expert in Raganuga Bhakti. Yeah, well, where's the taste for it, man? What does it look like, man? Let us show this. Show us that God has given you that special mercy. What line did you get it? Did you get it through the line? Is it manifest in you because of a previous lifetime and you just bring it through? Or which real spiritual master that also has it demonstratively passed it on to you? Oh, nobody asks these questions because they don't see real Raganuga Bhakti. They only see people speculating on what they think it is. You don't taste Raganuga Bhakti, you don't know Raganuga Bhakti. You don't taste raga, you don't taste transcendental metals, you don't know anything about this. It's just all in your mind, and all in people's mind. And then when they see it, they go against it. See, it's just like people worshiping God. Oh, God, or Krishna, let's put down. Oh, Krishna, God, doesn't matter. Jesus Christ, worship. Oh, see, they're worshiping like this. They don't really know the Lord because they got no Holy Spirit, no rag, no transcendental feeling awakened yet from their soul. They got no soul yet. But they know, because they speculate in what God is. That's Raganuga Bhakti now. All these gurus teach, oh yeah, don't go to Gohari. You'll see Raganuga Bhakti here. You'll see, yeah, that's our fault. We show you what the real deal is. Oh yeah, yeah, and not afraid to speak the truth, man. I could just hear it in their minds. That's why I made the comment. I just reading there. Why does Gohari not give respect to sannyasis and these guys? He was initiated by Prabhupada. He's a sannyasi, and he lived in Radhakund, and he's a guru, man, and everything. And yeah, I should give external respect to some, and not the truth. He's sitting there preaching Raganuga Bhakti and teaching it like an expert, and everybody's saying, wow, let me go to this, let me take initiation from this Raganuga Bhakti, and it's a friggin' lie. And I got to give respect to lies? No, not in Kali Yuga. The truth is all you have, all anyone has. I can't help it. People are so stupid. They don't have faith in truth to protect them. That's my protection. Why isn't a thunderbolt come down and blown Gohari up by now? By him, because I'm speaking the truth. You want to learn Raganuga Bhakti, you got to go to an experienced devotee. Very rare right now. Becoming less rare because people are coming here and getting it. Becoming ecstatic and blissful is all amazing. But it starts with one person out of 100 or 1,000 preaching it from their minds and speculations. But nobody, you got to demonstrate it, man. You got to teach like Lord Caitanya, otherwise it's not going to fly. I got the order of Prabhupada to teach this because for years I was relishing mellows, tasting the ecstasy in the verses of Chaitanya Lila. I had the feeling for Lord. The Lord was my life and soul from the very beginning. Obviously from another life, because I certainly didn't get it from one of the gurus, not from one Radhakund Babaji added anything, not Narayan Raj added nothing to me. But we can add to them if you want, if you can take this. This is a big thing, man. This is a pole, like a telephone pole. This is Zeus's thunderbolt. That's how heavy the truth is, man. Yeah. What does it say? See, the verses, the devotees, the real associates of the Lord are these verses, man. Lord Caitanya teaches real religious principles. Real. See, real, not fake, not speculative, not phony balonies, not man of the cloth principles. Not his holiness without the holiness principles. Not crying school without the crying principles. Real religious principles, which is ecstatically worshiping the Lord. That's the real religious principle in Kali Yuga. Come to the point of ecstatically worshiping the Lord. Quickly. Lord Caitanya preaches real religious principles, which we do all. We unclothe all the symbolism here, right, for the benefit of humanity. By the empowerment of the Lord, being the Lord's flute. It's his pleasure to unlock everything now. You don't like it? It's your contamination. I'm going to go on, man. The procession moves on. Barking dogs, bark all you want. I like it. Shows proof of potency, man. Yeah. Hey, man, I'm no better than Shukadev Goswami. He has an entourage of people throwing tomatoes at him, laughing at him, joking, criticizing him, all that. Hey, man, proof of potency. I like it, man. Truth is truth still. I don't care. Maya's always balking, man. What's the big deal? She's always been a balker, a liar, a cheater. I know her game. Cheating, deceits, teaching Raganuga Bhakti without the raga. See, another thing. Remember the crying school you went to without the crying? Well, this is the Raganuga Bhakti teaching without the raga. You don't see any tears, no holiness, everything that the Lord came here to teach, Raganuga Bhakti, spontaneous devotional service by demonstration and by then glorifying that, teaching that. See, Lord Caitanya preaches real religious principles through who? A low class, fourth class Sudra, right? Well, you see those qualities here, huh? Can't get any more Sudra than this. For why? To defeat the pride of these big sannyasis who try to claim that they're Raganugas. That defeats, yeah, I would think that's humbling, you make people aware, their followers are all puffing them up, man. Here, we're here to deflate them. We got the needle, man, puff their balloon. You ever see those frogs? They to look aggressive and authoritative, they puff this thing up. They're in their throat. It's always in the throat. Make it really big. That's like they're preaching. You see how big we are. And then Gorhari comes here, puffs their little throat out. Boom, the little bubble there. It's popping. Boom. Tired of hearing the croaking of frogs. Yeah, real religious principles. What is that? Yeah, take the association of real Raganuga Bhaktis who teach real Raganuga Bhakti, and they show you they're examples of teaching. You actually see it, what it looks like, man. Oh, now I know what it looks like 550 years ago. Whoa, why didn't I know before? Because your gurus don't know. None of them. Not even that guy with his Radhakund tilak on. Show us. Oh, yeah, you're Raganuga Bhakti. Let's see some raga. Let's see some rasa. Let's see what it is that the Lord is living inside you by your intimate experience of God. Let us see that. Let us see what the Lord came here to preach. Otherwise, shut up, man. You're not teaching Raganuga Bhakti. Then people, they think that's Raganuga Bhakti, and they come here, and then they're contaminated because they think, oh, what are you doing? You're not a dry guy. My guru said not to show raga. He said not to show the raga. Therefore, that's an expert who doesn't show the raga. So that's what people think it is. And you see, you're an offensive for showing it. Okay, I just sent that back to Lord Caitanya. It just goes automatically. I guess he's an offender, he's a sahaja for showing you out of great mercy, which the Krishna conscious movement is built on, is the worship of Lord Caitanya Nityananda were filled with transcendental ras and spread that all over the world. India. They spread that path all over the world. I guess they're offensive for showing real raga. This is what you get for going to people who are not experts. Well, our guru there, Radhakund and Naraimra said never to show a tear when you preaching about Raganuga Bhakti. Well, there's your Raganuga school. And then, right, didn't they criticize you there? Go in there and say, oh, what are you crying for? You're not supposed to cry in our crying school. Am I saying something stupid? Is this unreasonable? Or am I just deprogramming you from the bullshit you've accepted in your minds out there? I can't help it. Part comes with the territory. I'm a deprogrammer, man. Get you thinking straight. Maya is always bamboozling everybody, especially in Vaishnavism. Yeah, it's so simple to teach Raganuga Bhakti if you've got the mercy. You come and you watch devotees chant and have a good time with Krishna in Vrindavan. Oh, is this what Vrindavan looks like? Yeah. If you're in Vrindavan or in the North Pole, if you see either devotee chanting in ecstasy, you've seen the Vrindavan mood. You realize, oh, Vrindavan isn't the place. You could be in the North Pole and be in Vrindavan and nice and warm. In ecstatically worshiping the Lord, just like if you were there. If a person is got ecstatic love and they're in the North Pole, and then there's all these devotees, these neophytes, which I've seen in Vrindavan and Mayapur, there in Mayapur, in that holy place, holy place, Where would I go? Well, to me, my intelligence said, I'll go to the devotee there, who's worshiping the Lord in intimacy and ecstasy. Something I can't see over there in Vrindavan. I see all these guys looking at, what are you doing, man? What rule are you following? Did your knee touch your mat? Did you eat this or not eat that? No, I'll go to a liberal devotee. You become liberal, man. You become merciful. You become powerful. To look at this, this is proof of potency, man. People getting ecstatic devotion in this Sangha. Go higher, you're so sure. You got no humble. Yeah, who got kind of humbleness, man? We just do the job, man. We awaken devotion to Krishna here. I don't care if we talk to you about that. These wolves in sheep's clothing. You don't know what humility even is with people out there. You go to these wolves in sheep's clothing, they act humble just to gobble you up, your time and your energy, use you like a battery. No, Krishna is my battery. Radha is my battery, man. I stay souped up and fully charged every day. And I help make people become like that too. You become like your guru here. Win-win, man. I've already won and I'm here to make winners. I'm your bhakti coach. Not your bhakti couch. Your couch armchair professors teaching you bogus bhakti. Bogi yogis, bogus bhaktis. Come on, man. It's time to see the real deal. Showtime, man. It's showtime, right? Showtime. I love that word. Showtime for real Raganuga Bhakti, spontaneous devotion, man. When Ramananda Roy said, if it's available somewhere, ta-da! It's here in our Sangha. You should immediately fly there. Ooh, we don't have a fast enough plane, so turn your camera on. Enter the metaverse, beyond this material universe, the real one, not the fake one that Zuckerberg's making for you. Come into the metaverse. Here is beyond the material universe. Here, Maya just stays at the door. I ain't going in there, man. I wouldn't dare, man. Curing mental illnesses. Yeah, that's right, doctor. My little doctor said, where's my stethoscope, man? I gotta get a stethoscope, wear it every day. Just come here. We're here, medical practitioners. We're the frontline doctors here, right? It's nice. We're making frontline doctors. We're a whole bunch of them. We'll all wear white coats here with stethoscopes every day when we come to Sadhu Sangha. How about that? Show that we're the doctors. Come. Anyway, thank you for your service there, Mr. Radhakund Babaji over there today. It's great. I need the material. Keep bringing this stuff across my desk. People need it. He needs to understand. I mean, people are passing along in the disciplic lines, like not the real thing, not the real thing. It could go for another generation unless people see what was preached. Otherwise, nobody knows what it is. It becomes symbolism. You can't undress the symbolism. This is symbolic. Lord Caitanya, he did all this, and it's just like you have no real knowledge of it. See, he taught by experience, by demonstration, by practicing ecstatically worshiping the Lord. Anybody that gets this here, you get this potency here, you'll see why you have to practice it. Because when you practice it, you go deeper into it, even though you're already ecstatic. It expands, it goes deeper, it grows. See, but you're in another place of growth, man. You're in the spiritual universe, the metaverse, the true metaverse. This is the true metaverse. This is the universe we're meant to go in. Otherwise, there you can see Big Brother brings you into the real metaverse. That's just the facsimile. That's the copy. And that's not real. That's a fake. It's the shadow of the real metaverse beyond this universe. See, and Big Brother also. See, the shadow truth is you got Big Brother there, Big Brother Biden, and all the WEF, World Economic Forum. They want to bring you in to the metaverse, their metaverse, which is not very nice. Yeah. And they're doing all this predictive programming. They're getting you to listen to everybody, trust your doctor, comply, obey the government. All this stuff is obey Big Brother, obey Big Brother. See, programming you, and this is what it's going to be. You're going to live in a cubicle. You're going to enter, put your little goggles on. All this stuff is going on. And a Christian said something very interesting. He said, you don't have to go and believe. This is because a lot of people believe. Actually, I started to see how this is working. This Maya is predicting and programming people the way it will be for them if they continue on looking at that and believing in that predictive program for you in the future. Or you can look towards revelation. That's what we do here. See, we look towards God's universe, the real metaverse, the one beyond, the spiritual universe. Okay? That's a consciousness. You have that elevation of consciousness. That's what you get here in Sadhu Sangam. You're elevated in consciousness into the spiritual universe. And how do you know? Because you don't feel the fear that not everybody, but many people are vibrating on, which puts them into the facsimile, Maya's metaverse, the facsimile, the shadow, where it's just like a cartoon caricature of the truth. See, here we're elevated beyond that. Doesn't touch the material energy and potency and the fears of it and the anxiety of the threefold miseries of it does not in the jurisdiction of the real devotees of the Lord who worship the Lord in intimacy and ecstasy. That's what Lord Caitanya came here to do, and that's why we're here. We're here to give you the real thing, man. If you don't believe it, well, you're going to go to the facsimiles, go to these gurus with the dhotis and talking about, Rupa Goswami said this, Rupa Goswami said that. And they're not really the representatives. They don't demonstrate this. They can't demonstrate this. They also have to come here. We're here for you if you want. Do you want real Raganuga Bhakti? Do you want real spontaneous devotion? Well, you got to go to a real spontaneous devotee who's not afraid to demonstrate in the world to preach it. Otherwise, there's no preaching of this. It'll be like Prabhupada and Bhakti Siddhanta and Bhakti Vinod. They were all it, but they didn't preach it. Not through the word, through the writings, but not the word. We're here for the word. We take those books just like Narottam, Srinivas, and Shamananda. They took those words that were written by the no-shows. That's why you see the no-shows say, "Oh, you see Rupa Goswami, you see the Goswamis. They were very, very grave. They didn't show, but they put it in their books." Man, the preachers took those books and they showed the world what Raganuga Bhakti is, what real spontaneous devotion is. You saw tears. Hey, man, these guys went into a village, man, crying and laughing. Man, you can read all about it, man. It's extra news. It's breaking news now. You can see the same thing here. That's what we do. That's how we roll. We broadcast the news, but not just, like speculating on it. No, we have to practice it. We have to taste it. We have to show the world we're eating a very yummy meal, tasting so good, man. Better than anything you've seen in any Vaishnava Sangha. Better than just somebody just talking about it, but somebody relishing the taste and the exquisite taste of it, the revelations that come from it. The power to transmit it to others. And Narayan Raj said, this prema that you're seeing here in the devotees, his preaching was many lifetimes before you're going to experience that. Get to work, man. Fast. Follow every rule in the book. Strictly chant 1 lakh a day. Proof it's the wrong path? Look, Lolita don't chant no 1 lakh a day, but look how ecstatic. She's more ecstatic than 1,000 Narayan Raj gurus. Prove me wrong. You can't. All you gurus out there, you're all talkers about Raganuga Bhakti and how spontaneous devotees you are, and you just heap lots of rules and formalities and etiquettes on your followers. That's all you can do. But we do the job here. We really we show what Raganuga Bhakti is, and best of all, we transmit it into the hearts of those who come and hear this beautiful message. That works really well. It works. It's a prototype. You don't come here, it looks like you're not going to get this. Everybody's afraid they're all no-shows, man. I'm sorry, we can't show you the mercy. Well, we show you the mercy, and we transmit to the mercy those who come to see that this is the most logical path, the most powerful path. You come and you listen and you investigate, you look at the books, you make it functional in your life. Right there, Tom? Make it functional. That's his new challenge, is to make this functional. You meditate on these conceptions here. You look at this bhakti. You feel it. Get purified. And see, like we do, it's the best of all things. Do you want to go to another path, Lalita? Do you have any desire at all? Are you sure there's not something else out there better? See, we'll make you like that. And then you'll be ecstatic like that, because you don't speculate. See, Johan also, ask him if he wants to go anywhere else. We're lifers. We keep people here for life. Unless you want something else, and the Lord say, oh, okay, go out there, live it out there. You want something else other than real bhakti and the real association of real devotees that are driving deeper and deeper into the Vrindavan consciousness? Well, that's here. We're never going to, why leave? All we do is go deeper. Why would you leave a place where you've won the lottery every day? Rolling with the homies. Yeah, just like the Panchatattva, we bring the Pancha party. Yeah. We bring the punch. Spiked punch with Ras. Come here, you're going to get that spike punch. Otherwise, there's no spike. You get all that sweet halava, all the sugar, and become a diabetic or something. That's the best you can do. Nice greasy halava, come here, you'll eat the real pizza, man. Yeah. So people need to see Raganuga Bhakti. You need to see the devotees who are in the verses. You got to see what is a real devotee Bhagavad, right? See, all these verses are really true, and they're true when you find the real devotee. Okay? Real devotee, they're the devotee Bhagavad. You could see, wow, man, this person is that verse. Bhagavad Gita 10:10, right? Wow, they worship the Lord in loving ecstasy. Wow, they're that verse. Wow, look at this. This person awakens devotion to Krishna and others. Wow, they're that verse Lord Caitanya spoke. Wow, those who get the real spiritual master, the devotees have spiritual experiences. Wow, that happens to so many here. They have dreams and amazing things. Bhakti awakens in their hearts. See, all the verses become manifest. Why? Because that person has really attained the Lord. Real darshan of the Lord. Real intimacy with God. The God is so close to them that he actually uses them to show himself. That's how it works. Always worked like that. That's why these kinds of spiritual masters are rare. You can't imitate, no matter how many degrees you get in college. No matter how many PhD upon PhD, maybe he's back in school again, getting another one so he can preach to intelligent people. You can preach to intelligent people, but I want to preach to devotees, man. I want to preach to those the Lord's saying, hey, man, you really want me. That's the quality of people who come here. They really want Krishna. They could be simple persons. You don't have to be a rocket scientist. Krishna knows your heart. Yeah, I want to preach to devotees, those who really want the Lord. The others, go to Radhanath and go to Acharya Devs. Go to these guys out there, man. If you have other desires and motives and you don't want such truth, man, this is real truth, man. This will set you free. You'll experience that. It won't be just a armchair professorship. It won't be just a Bhakti Shastra degree on the wall. You'll be set free. You'll set others free. You'll be a soul winner. You'll be engaged in the highest welfare work. There's nothing higher than setting the living entities free from illusion forever. That's pretty high work, I would say. That's the work we do. You've already done it. We're already doing it. See, it's only people contamination. They can't acknowledge it because Maya's covering their eyes with scales. But so those who are meant to come here, Lord will, what do you call it? Inspire them to come here. So read the next verse there. I think you're muted.
I'm sorry.
Okay. I think you're muted again. It's
Oh,
good.
I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry.
Read the
I
verse a few times.
Oh, derde keer goede keer. Although this is true, this is but the external reason for the Lord's incarnation. Please hear one other reason, the confidential reason for the Lord's appearance. The scriptures, they proclaim that Lord Krishna previously descended to take away the burden of the earth. To take away this burden, however, it's not the work of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. The maintainer, Lord Vishnu, is the one who protects the universe. But the time to lift the burden of the world mixed with the time for Krishna's incarnation.
Yeah,
When
see the way Lord Vishnu takes away the burden of earth. He has you engage in austerities, in renunciations, and rules and regulations in the mode of goodness. That's his job to do that. But it doesn't really. I mean, it takes away the burden. It's very hard work. You got to become you got to be work up into the mode of goodness. And become a religious person. But it's very slow. Take away the burden of burden. See, it takes away your burden. Then you follow rules and regulations, you feel better. It's very burdensome to be in passion and ignorance. But it's less, you become more happy in the mode of goodness. But it's a lot of work. But this is why it's so rare. See, Lord Caitanya came, it was the time to take away this burden. See? And to do that, the Lord came as Lord Caitanya, especially in this Kali Yuga, because it's very hard to take the burden away. Look at the poor devotees. Look how the struggles they got. Look at the misconceptions they still have. So the Lord descends here. He came as Krishna first, and still didn't take the full burden away because the general populace didn't get this kind of bhakti that the Lord was sharing and communing with his intimate devotees in Vrindavan. Not even the people in Dwarka got it. Because he was holding himself back. Maybe the queens, they got to see something of it. And then Uddhava got it because he got to go to Vrindavan to see it. See how important it is to see the devotees interacting really intimately with Krishna? They actually he didn't know, even as a Raganuga Bhakti, he didn't know that kind of intimacy existed until he went there to see it with his own eyes, what it looks like. And so devotees, they don't even know what raga looks like because they don't see it with their own eyes. They don't get a trip there. They go with the gurus and they talk about what they speculate on, what they think it is, or what Rupa Goswami is saying. And they just parrot the verses and it sounds good here, but nobody gets a real bird's eye view of Vrindavan. You got to see a person empowered with that rasa, tasting the ecstasy in the holy name. Now you're seeing something. Now you're seeing reality. Otherwise, you still don't know reality. It's a no-show. No, well, you can't see the reality show. You ever heard on TV they call reality show? Well, Krishna has his reality show. That's it. This is it, man. This is Krishna Vrindavan's reality show. This is Lord Caitanya's reality show. This is where you learn the real conception of Lord Caitanya and his teachings. Yeah, but they have to be showed and demonstrated like he showed and demonstrated. You have to see an ecstatic chanter with the tears and the laughter and blowing their nose just like Lord Caitanya was, showing the symptoms of ecstatic, intimate worship of God. Showing the intelligence that comes from that accurately portrays that and glorifies that level of worship. Otherwise, you ain't seen nothing yet. You've seen the outside. You've seen the side that speculation hides. Yeah. So that's why Prabhupada, Bhaktisiddhanta, Bhaktivinoda did not teach this until it was time, so they could fully get into it. You notice, does Gaur getting into what they were into? Preaching? No, I'm into what they were into in their closets, in their rooms. I'm getting fully into that. See? Teaching you what really turned them on. Rules, regulations, and external bhakti and ceremonies don't turn the devotee on. Intimacy, intimate ecstatic worship turns them on, was the power behind their writings. And their writings are the power behind this preaching. Just like it was, the Goswami books was the power behind Narottam, Shamananda, and Srinivas for the world and the public to become ecstatic devotees. Narayan Raj didn't know this. He didn't know. He was taught, oh no, let's follow the example of Rupa Goswami and the Goswamis over there who were no-shows as they're writing the books. You want to follow that example? You want to follow Gohari's example? Huh? I take those books of the Goswamis and Prabhupada and undress the symbolism so it becomes functional in our lives. You become a Raganuga Bhakta for sure, for real, man. You become a spontaneous devotee for real. Lalita's a spontaneous devotee right before everybody's eyes. Pulls demons out of gurus, even. That's what spontaneous devotion is. That's why it's often hidden until it is ordered. It is on the menu. It's the only thing really available that's of value in this world. No other path is of value. Now, when this is available, this is a valuable. It's like saying, well, gold is available. We can't afford it, man. So we'll be good with silver and we'll be good with iron and fake diamonds and all that. Well, I've got some good news for the world, man. This is gold and it's available for everybody. Why wouldn't everybody take it? If a dog can get this just because he was a dog following Shivananda Sain, why can't a human being, every friggin' one of them, get this gold? Because it's here and it's available for everybody. I can't help it if you're not intelligent enough to hear what I just said. But you're fortunate just to hear it. Even if you didn't hear it, you heard but don't hear. You're one of those that Jesus was preaching to. Those who have ears don't hear. Those who have eyes can't see. You're one of those? Okay, well, that's fine. At least you still, something went in. And in due course, it'll bear some fruit. If it doesn't in this life, another life. At least you, sir, saw the truth. At least you heard the truth. Can't help it, you're dullard, dull-minded from Maya, dull-minded listening from inexperienced gurus, speculating all over the place, acting as your saviors and can't even save a potato. Oh, you think I'm exaggerating? It's true, they can't save a potato. They can't save even one of you potato heads out there who are so dumb to follow them. You've been dumbed down, man. Sorry, man. That's the truth. Yeah. Hey, man, only a savior can save you, so why play a game? Oh, good Dave, please save me. Yeah, save what? Where's their ecstasy? Where is their intimacy with God? They're the saviors. You got to be like a Jesus Christ, otherwise forget about a savior, man. Oh, I would never compare myself to Jesus Christ. Well, then get out of the way because you're not a savior, man. The whole point of having a guru, Dave, is to be saved. As far as I read in Prabhupada's books, what about you? What the hell are you hearing? A mundane person can save you? No, they got to be like not the crazy people saying they're Jesus, like a Jesus, man, with the power of Christ, man, to awaken the Spirit of God in you, man, the Holy Spirit. If you're not like that, step aside. That's our job. Empowered. The Lord has given us that work. You don't believe it? You don't believe this word? Yeah, it's not very humble, I guess. I don't know. What is humbleness to you guys out there? But it's true. People are getting bhakti here, man. Becoming really ecstatic. I think I'm very proud of that. I think it's something to be proud of. People becoming ecstatic, man. Just like a person there, I can't help it, man. If I was married and I had some children, which I never ever wanted, but if I did, the father or the mother is proud of their child. It's just natural. I have children here now. This is the way I wanted to do it. I'm very proud of Lalita Ganga and Johans and Janakis and Govindas and Amy's. That's why I love to glorify them. Anybody else with bhakti? Anybody else that's trying to pretend to be a bhakta with no bhakti? Watch out. The telephone pole comes up.
The double meaning of Srila Prabhupada.
A telephone pole. It's a new way of communicating. Another way of communicating. If you want to take the flower, you get the telephone pole communication. Falls on top of you. Oh, I got the message. Okay, I got it. Go ahead, read on there, Lalita.
Okay. When the complete Supreme Personality of Godhead, when He descends, all other incarnations of the Lord meet together within Him.
See, what we need to find is now, to get the real message, is the complete devotee. Where's the complete devotee? Yeah, it's like the Lord showed as a devotee completion. Oh yeah, this is complete. Worshiping the Lord in intimacy and ecstasy. That is the ultimate position. That's the ultimate revelation is Vrindavan. Vrindavan worship, very intimate. They see God in his personal form and they communicate with God. They just love to be with the Lord. Hey, where's the complete devotee manifesting that? Now. Now! Not then only, but now. Otherwise, you're not getting the complete teaching. Otherwise, you're not getting the complete teaching. Don't you want completion? Completion is this. This is finishing the work. What do you think Jesus said? It is finished. We got to say it again. Is it finished? Vaishnavism is not finished until this completes it. This is the cherry on top of the cake that Bhakti Siddhanta Bhakti Vinod and Prabhupada were baking. I remember when I eat cakes, I always go for the cherry. I always liked it as a kid. I loved the cherry. Give me the icing and the cherry cake. Okay, that's all right. It's foundation for you mix it together. It's good. But icing is always the sweetest, right? The cherry and the icing and all that is. When somebody interferes with hearing Guru's words, those that want to hear a Guru will speak up in anger. That's also greed. Yeah, exactly. That's right. Guru's words are our food, our organic. Yeah, it's all symptoms of greed. It's beautiful. Bhakti is beautiful. Yeah, so that complete is an important conception. Where is the devotee, if they're real devotees, are only complete in the Lord. Remember, this Jesus says, be in me, I in you, we in the Father. The devotees are like, even the Guru is like that. Even Jesus was like that. He was in the prophets. In their words is being in them. The words being in them. The Father being in them. This is part of family. This is the transcendental Borg. This Borg is beautiful. The external one is the Star Trek one. It's not very nice. That queen stings you all the time. Makes you into a robot. Here, real sovereignty is that freedom is becoming part of Krishna's Borg. Being in the Lord and the Lord in you, and being part of that eternal family. That's where real sovereignty is. That's where real freedom is. That's where real control is, man. Look at you guys. You're all guys coming here every day. In a sense, you're being controlled, right? But what's controlling you is your attraction. That's God, man. See, you're attracted to this message. You're attracted to this energy. You're attracted to these truths. We're all like that. I'm like that. I'm just preaching what I'm like, what I like. Yeah, we're part of the eternal family. See, that's how you got to be. Even the Christians talk about it. People are orphans in this world. See, and then you have to be saved by the adoption. See, people, we're just adopting babies out there. You're all babies. Charlie Dave to me is just a baby, man. He's just a big baby. We're here to adopt him, into the real family. I mean, all that stuff you've been doing, all your PhD studies, all your preaching of Krishna West is all to bring you here. I ain't exaggerating. I know it sounds outlandish. It's outrageous. I say these things, outlandish, all these things. Maya's just telling you all these things, but it's very true. All your stuff, all the stuff that your disciples are practicing worshiping you as their savior and all that. It's all just practice to bring them here. If they make it in this life, in some life they have to make it to a real devotee preaching this astounding things, these very intimate, very profound, very powerful truths. So now it's here. So, hey, man, if Krishna gives you the intelligence, well, maybe if you got ears, you'll hear. Maybe if you get eyes, you can see what's really going on here. See, it's very different, very unique, and extremely rare. Go ahead, Lily, to read on.
So Lord Caitanya, the four primary expansions, Vasudeva, Sankarsana, Pradyumna, and Aniruddha, Matcha, and the other Lila incarnations, the Yuga avatars, the Manu Antara incarnations, and as many other incarnations as there are, they all descend to the body of Lord Krishna. In this way, the complete Supreme Godhead, Lord Krishna himself, he appears at that time. Therefore, Lord Vishnu.
The complete incarnation, again, the complete incarnation showed how it is in the spiritual world. He's complete with his devotees. His devotees are complete with him. This is what we need to see in this world. You got to see how the devotees are empowered by this completeness, by this engaging in pure devotional service, pure devotional relationship with that supreme being. Otherwise, there's no complete teaching. The teachings are not complete. They're complete in the devotee's example in this world of relating to the Lord intimately, showing this example in the world. Okay? So that's how the Lord came here. He showed that completion it wasn't just him. He came to show by his worship and by his worship with his actual devotees. You see, wow, look at the devotees. Look how attached they are to Lord Caitanya. Look at how Lord Caitanya was their life and soul. See, showing by example, this is a real devotee of Lord Caitanya. How do we do it now? Well, you need to meet some person that shows you what it looks like to be attached to Lord Caitanya. Well, if you're really attached, you'll be like Sarvabhauma, crying tears in ecstasy. And all these other devotees who were deeply attached to Lord Caitanya, they were crying and laughing and choking up and all these wonderful things. Especially when they were chanting the holy name, a Hare Krishna Maha Mantra. They would laugh, they would cry, they'd choke up, relish transcendental mellow. See, they showed the world that completion. Otherwise, the worship is not complete yet. The evolution of the person in this world is not complete. See, people think you're complete alone, on your own. But that verse that translated in the Upanishads by Prabhupada was really nicely translated. But from God are coming so many complete wholes. See? Person looks complete. I don't need anything. But we do need stuff, don't we? To exist. See, so many complete wholes, but the Lord is the complete balance for all of them. Even in the mundane world is showing that truth. That's why there is a God, because the mundane world shows that. Even my mundane body cannot exist without the Lord in this form of the air. Bhagavad Gita says, I'm the air. He's everything. We're existing, even bodily. Because that Lord is the complete balance for the body's existence in this world. Yeah, he's the food. See? And people serving even on the level of the world, right? You got people in the grocery store. You got farmers growing the food. See, everybody is connected to the Lord, even bodily. But the Lord says, I don't feel this is complete, man. I don't feel that my name is Vishwambara, the benedictor, the benefactor of the universe, until I can fill this world, this universe, with love of Krishna, love of God. See, this is the full completion. Still, our bodies need some food, need the air to exist. But we have a new kind of completion now, being complete in the transcendental body of the Lord. That's why even demigods can be jealous of a human being who has that. Or they're worshipable. A real devotee is the best of the demigods in that way. They're complete beings, man. They're in the transcendental form of the Lord, and they can bring you there, and nobody else can bring you there. No austerity can bring you there. No renunciation can bring you to that consciousness. Only pure mercy that comes from Lord Chaitanya's real servants now in 2022. No one else can bring you into that. No one else but Lord Chaitanya could bring people to that level. Therefore, he's only bringing others now to that level because of his real associates being here. And most are not brought to that level except here in this Sangha. That's what I've seen. I've been to India over 20-something times, looking around, investigating, checking the gurus out. Took initiation 5 times. Tamal Krishna, Narayan Raj, 2 Radhakund Babajis. Who else? That's 4 times. So 4 times, maybe 5. I can't think right now. Maybe some other guy. Each one couldn't find completion. They already had it, actually. You just had to become aware of it. That was a good way to do it. Took initiation from Jesus. He was saying that was fantastic. I saw the Lord's universal form. I saw him in everything and everywhere and all that. I got that, and now this is complete. I consider this complete. Even Krishna says it's complete. It's not, he says, those persons who see me in everything and all that, they don't really know me until they know me as the son of an intimate devotee like Yashodanandana or Sachi Devi, or the beloved of the gopis. I mean, really, see, not talking about it only. Where did we see the substance, man? Where's that ecstatic Bob, man? Where's Radha? Let's see some Radha, man. You got to have the mercy to produce that. Otherwise, it's not complete. The worship is not complete yet. Do you feel complete now there? Yeah, see? Nothing else needed now? Do you need any other, uh, path to complete you? You found completion. See, this is it. You're finished here. This is it. See, we're here to get people out of this. We're the boat, man. Hey, man, this is a speedboat. Ready to get out of this material illusion? Or you want to take the tugboat out there of ISKCONs and all these other cons? Great name, ISKCON. Is conned. You're conned until you meet. If you come here and you look, oh man, you've been conned, man. You is a conned, man. You is a conned. Prabhupada wasn't a con. He came to make a difference in this world, and he did. He set the foundation, and we're here to put the cherry on top. Put the icing on the cake. See, it's teamwork, right? If you can't do that, you're not a successor, a real successor. You got to bring people now. Successor means success, completeness, complete the worship. That's what we do. That's why I say there's no other path. You can't do this. Everybody should come here. Everyone. Otherwise, you're dumbed down by the illusion. At some point, you're in religion. You have religious leaders who can't liberate you. You believe in them. You've been contaminated by faith in those who are not deliverers, who are not really spiritual master who comes to deliver their devotees. I'm still not complete. Too much weed. Oh, What is that talking? What's he saying? That sounds some cryptic statement there.
Too much celery wheat.
Oh, celery weed. Oh, they call that weed. Too much weed. Yeah, go ahead there, Rita.
Okay. Thus, the killing of the demons is but secondary work. I shall now speak of the main reason of the Lord's incarnation. The Lord's desire to appear was born from two reasons. The Lord, he wanted to taste the sweet essence of the bellows of love of God, and he wanted to propagate devotional service in the world on the platform of spontaneous attraction, and thus he is known as supremely jubilant.
Yeah,
And
most merciful of all. How can you? I love that verse. It's so fantastic. How can you promote spontaneous attraction in this world unless you're tasting the sweet essence of it and showing and empower? You become empowered to teach it. You show it and you glorify it with your words. You glorify to the point where people find the real path is your word and your experience. You're exuding that from them. Ecstatic prema emanates. See, by their word, ignorance is destroyed. That's Gurudev, man. Isn't it glorified in the song they're singing for 40, 50 years now? But nobody understands it until you come here and become purified. You think, oh yeah, from these devotees, not only Gaur Hari Das, but even from his disciples, ecstatic his prema is emanating. See? And by their word, ignorance is being destroyed. See, ignorance of what? Ignorance of the wrong path, following gurus who are not really enlightened and are not liberated souls, who are just talking about Raganuga Bhakti. That's a great liberation. See? But that only comes from an empowered devotee. They show you that they have the authority of God because of their real being the real deal. That's where the only place you're going to get the real deal. You're going to get the real deal where the real deal is. Otherwise, what do you get? The raw deal. Do you want the raw deal or the real deal? That's the question. To be or not to be? That is the question. No. The real question is, do you want the raw deal or the real deal? That is the most important question to ask yourself. The real deal is the handshake and the embrace of God forever. You ever heard this? Let's shake on it. You come here, you're going to get that with God. It'll be like, let's shake on it. And this is irrevocable. This is forever. This is your ticket out of the material universe. Beyond the demigods, beyond liberation, beyond supersoul, engaged in the ultimate revelation that the Lord brought here. Transcendental, ecstatic, intimate relations with Krishna, with God. Who is the real deal? No, so who? If you can figure out who is the real deal, that's where you're going to get the real deal. It's got to be personified. Yeah. Go ahead there, Lalita.
Lord Krishna taught, all the universe is filled with the conception of my majesty. But love, weakened by that sense of majesty, satisfy me. If one regards me as a supreme Lord and himself as a subordinate. I don't become subservient to his love,
See,
nor
you gotta see that that picture, not just in the book. You gotta see, what does that look like? Like if you're look at the devotees, look at the gurus. How are they worshiping the Lord? I'm a subordinate. Krishna, you're so great. You're so this. And they teach that example. But where is a devotee in their intimate relationship with the Lord, feeling like the Lord is their intimate companion? Not only feeling, showing you those feelings that come from being an intimate companion of the Lord. That's pretty intimate, to relish association, to have a picnic with God in Vrindavan. You show the picnic. What does it look like to have a picnic with Krishna in Vrindavan? Yeah, it shows you that, when you're having a picnic with somebody, you're pretty close. You're sitting next to them. Ever a picnic with your girlfriend, or your husband or your wife, you're sitting right next to them, eating together. Oh, well, where do you see that spirit eating? See, what temple do you see spirit eating together with the Supreme Lord? Well, because if you were at a picnic with Krishna and a devotee, you would see a lot of tears, a lot of ecstasy, man. They're both enjoying that association, not thinking that the devotees say, this is my most intimate friend, man, and just loving it, man, loving being close to Krishna. They're not thinking, they're just so busy relishing the transcendental qualities of Krishna. They can't even think about high, low, whatever, but this is my most beloved friend. Go ahead, Lalita, what?
yeah, even Jesus said, "You're not my servants anymore. You are my friends from now on."
Yeah,
And still they worship in all reverence. Um,
yeah. Yeah, yeah,
they
yeah.
haven't
And you're
understood that.
my friends, and because you know what your master is doing. See, you get it. They got experience of what Jesus was experiencing in his relationship with the Lord. Now you're part of the family. You're part of the family. But still, they always consider Jesus like their guru. There's that relationship. Even Rupa Goswami and, say, Raghunath considered Rupa Goswami as guru and also intimate friend. You could see that in the writings, how it is. But you get all this understanding if you're a sincere follower of a real devotee, and you're really worshiping the Lord for this loving relation. The Lord will inform you all these things. Just like, hey, how do I know any of this? You think what have I studied? I only study Krishna. I only study the holy name and taste that nectar, in the verses and all that. That's all I'm studying. I just, that's why it takes me, it's hard for me to get through a verse. I'm just studying it. I'm just relishing. I'm tasting. I'm chewing it, man, masticating it really well. It just gives my heart wants to glorify these truths and just expound on them and share them. That's right. We call it Jolly Shamaguri. Jolly Shamaguri. Jolly time. Great popcorn. You ever have that? Jolly time? They call it Jolly time. This is Krishna's our popcorn here. We're having a jolly old time. Go ahead, Lalita.
So in in whatever transcendental mellow my devotee worships me, I reciprocate with him. That is my natural behavior.
Yeah, and so the Lord came here to show this intimate worship, to show the ecstatic devotees. See? So whatever transcendental mellow mind devotee worship, I reciprocate with him. See? And the Lord is worshiping in the intimate friend, intimate servant, intimate like maintainer of the Lord, intimate beloved. And there's a lot of ecstatic manifestation of feelings of these exchanges. See, whatever mellow my devotee worships me. But if you go and you look at your teachers teaching now, how are they worshiping the Lord? More like this. At least that's what you see.
Mm.
Well, where do you see the Vrindavan Ras, the Vrindavan relations? Nowhere to be seen. Oh, except here.
Yeah.
You see something very different. Well, that's what it's about. Why? See, you guys don't be. Who's ready to get out of this herd mentality? Oh, Gohara can't be preaching the real thing because look, most of the devotees, they're not doing like he is. Well, I guarantee you, Vrindavan is a very rare place, and most of the Lord's followers in like that are not doing like the Vrindavan residents are doing. We come here to show different. We have to, otherwise we cannot preach Vrindavan relations. You have to see more intimacy, what it looks like. Otherwise nobody knows. Whatever transcendental, mellow, my devotee worships me, I reciprocate. So if I'm like this and I'm Guru Dev and you're going to that guru, that's the best you're going to do is awe and reverence. That weak love, didn't the coach say, I consider that love weak. Can you tell this is a difference between that love you see in ISKCON and all these other groups and this love that we're relishing and tasting here? Can you see any difference, anybody? Is anybody a little bit awake? Can you see the difference in loving relationships here than in the gurus in ISKCON? Or any of these groups or in the world? In people, how everybody is a devotee. And now this is the broad truth, and this is the broad symbol we'll unlock. Everybody is worshiping the Lord, but where do you see the best happiness? Where do you see the most powerful mercy? You see the powerful mercy like this to get the highest revelation of the absolute truth in teachers like in the ISKCON? Do you see it like in teachers like, who's that guy? Tony Robbins teaching? You have big following. Yeah, Jai Pataka has a big following also. Do you see that being taught amongst them? No, this is different than everything. You see it in Buddhism? Oh, this is different than Buddhism. You see it in Christianity? It's different than that. You see anybody happier there? Well, you can see some because if you've got Christ, there's going to be some great happiness. I always, even Bhakti Vinod loved that. I love that because he loved that. We all devotees love bhakti and devotion and the result of that. The more intimacy, the better.
More
I
than
always love
Vaishnavas.
what?
Much more than Vaishnavas.
Oh yeah. Much more than Vaishnavas. Yeah. I always loved intimacy. I used to lament. I remember when I first came to ISKCON, I thought, wow, it's really great to be with Krishna, but then they used to chastise me for spinning around when I danced in joy of God in the Mangal Artiques. And then I had this little church that I used to go to in Long Beach, and I was in LA, and I was lamenting. I thought, my God, it would be so nice if that spirit was there in Vaishnavism. I only had it myself. And everybody else are just like these people jumping up and down. And they didn't have any taste for this holy bhakti spirit. They still don't know. And that's why we're in demonstration mode now. Here we're demonstrating so many things, showing so many things, and everybody's showing their cards. Automatically, you have to show where you're at. Eventually, the world will see. That's how it is. This is apocalypse time. The apocalypse is everything is revealed. Everything that's been hidden in the closets is shouted from the rooftops. If you don't have real bhakti, that's going to be shown. If you have real bhakti, that will be shown. If you're a demon, that'll be revealed. If you're a demigod, good person type, that'll be revealed. This is the time. Very special time, my friends. See? We're all playing our parts now. Yeah. Go ahead, Lalita.
Yeah, they all talk about
Oh, wait. Oh yeah, go
So
ahead. Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead.
they
Yeah,
all
what?
talk about those rasas and 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 they read about it, but it looks like a far, far, far away thing that doesn't belong to us, that we cannot experience, that we cannot desire for. It
Yeah,
doesn't look that that's the goal. They don't teach it as that's the goal now.
yeah. Well,
No?
that's why we have to teach it, even though there's
Yeah,
resistance. Just like
yeah.
here, let's say, so okay, somebody says, we try to transcend our bodily pains, finding no faults in others. Just I think that our purification is more heavy than others. Um, I don't quite understand the context of what you're saying. If you can explain that a little bit.
I
Yeah.
think she means the purification is deeper here than with the Vaidis.
Oh, this is okay. This is Rade. Okay, I forgot. It says Anka. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, we try to transcend our body, finding no faults in others. Just I think that our purification is more heavy than others. Well, yeah. I mean, if you think, well, yes and no. Actually, here, there, the purification is very long and arduous. It's like trying to climb a big mountain on your own. Here, the spontaneous purification, yeah, it might be a little painful. I mean, you're getting worked on, you're getting the false egos burning up in the fire. But in a sense, it's easier because all you have to do is come here and listen and hear and get purified and basically of misconceptions and faith in things that are not really worthy of having faith in. You got to come to the point in zero faith that the rules and regulations are going to liberate you. You're gonna, you have to come to the point that full faith in Guru, in real Vaishnavas who have love of God like the real Guru, and the real Krishna who is and Radha who are filled with loving relations. That's all. When you come to that and realize all your deliverance is in that, faith in that, then you get the real protection of the transcendental Lord and overcome many things that people trying to overcome in other ways. But the only way to really get that is here through very intimate devotees. We demonstrate that everybody else is a no show. That's why I say all paths are archaic now in that sense. In the ISKCON and all that, I people, you'll either hear it or you won't, but this is the truth. The truth is, if you're following gurus who haven't realized Krishna, well, why do that when you can follow gurus and even disciples who have realized Krishna here? We demonstrate what none of these groups can do. Why would you be where iron is when you can be with gold? Gold is revealed, and you don't need a lot of, a lot of people say, well, yeah, great, you're a part of the elites and you're rich with real gold and everything, but what is it for us? Why we can't get it? Well, you don't know the gold of Lord Caitanya. He wants to give everybody gold. Everybody can get gold here. Come get the gold. Come get the golden avatar, man. You'll get Radha and Krishna here, and people are already getting it. Just come here. Nothing holding you back but illusions and ignorance, ignorant teachings, ignorant teachers. That's the truth. I ain't lying. If they weren't holding you back, they would be here themselves. But because they're held back by their ignorance, you're held back by faith in ignorance. What can I say but speak the truth, give you advice? You want the love of Krishna? Did you come to Krishna consciousness to become conscious of Krishna? Well, you got to get the love that we have here, that we are very fortunate to have and very fortunate to get the order to distribute it. Oh, this is the truth. I just told you the truth. Oh, you don't believe it? Too bad for you. You're a loss. But at least you heard it. At least you got the warning, right? I'm not even going to shake my. See, we're going to do better than Jesus. I ain't going to shake the dust off my feet. I'm just going to keep this dust here, keep dusting you with the ghost, the real Holy Ghost of Radha. She's been a ghost too long, man. Time to get this manifestation of the ghost. She's been a ghost too long. right? Where's she? Where's Radha? Where's Radha? Here, my friends, come see. Look at our Lalita. Yeah, come see what Radha looks like. How Radha relishes Krishna's name and pastimes. Come see. This is Radha's girlfriend. And come, you gotta learn from the dust. She's the dust. Come learn from the dust. Go ahead, read on a little bit more.
Sorry. So in whatever way my devotees surrender unto me, I reward them accordingly. Everyone follows my path in all respect, O
See,
son of God.
isn't that amazing? Everyone follows my. So now you see the Lord. See that there's that. This is the Uttamadikari view. Is Krishna speaking from that view? That's why Bhagavad Gita is so deep when you really look at the depth of it. You see the full picture there. All my devotees, see, and everyone follows my path in all respects, and I reciprocate with them. If you're a devotee of gold, that's Krishna. He reciprocates with you. You get a little dull ras from that, but you don't know any better, right? So you think gold is all in all. Or you worship. You ever fall in love and your spouse becomes, oh, I feel complete with my spouse. I felt that. I know what that's like. I had this woman. I'll give you one love affair I had. I fell in love at this hot springs, man. I had this beautiful woman, and we just fell in love, and lots of oxytocin, and just beautiful. We would walk down, the in the hot springs in this community, man. People look at us and say, "Wow, that's a couple. Wow, they look so good together and all this." And I was walking down, strutting down, feeling complete and everything. And then one day, a better looking guy to her, came by. And oh, she was gone. And I always felt so complete, yeah. And she never came back. You know how many scenarios we've been like that? See, you become complete in that. But that's Maya. So Maya says she's very attractive. She lures people like sirens, in that sea, lures you over there. It's not really as good as you think. See? You're lured over there into that. And then you find out, oh well, she went. My completeness went. You see how the Lord is. Everyone follows my path. That's a path of God in His Maya. Everybody's doing that in so many ways in this Maya. Even worship of the demigods is temporary, but it's the Lord's path, isn't it? All beings follow my path in all respects. But look at the path we get to follow. Oh my God, talk about a pearl of great price. Talk about the ultimate path, the ultimate worship, the ultimate happiness, the ultimate mercy, the ultimate magnanimity, the ultimate power to liberate souls in this world is because we're devotees of the devotees of Lord Caitanya. Isn't it amazing? And all paths are like pearls on a string. But this is the supreme pearl. Why not go for it? It's being available. You can have the ultimate mercy, the ultimate magnanimity, the ultimate power to deliver even conditioned souls out of the most powerful Maya. You become an empowered Leela avatar. Oh my God, the Lord wants to give us that. What I say is very true, my friends. This is real. We're already doing it. You might say, I don't believe your words, but hey, man, look at the deeds the Lord is doing, man. He's liberating people out of Maya. Maya is very powerful. You think it's easy to get out of Maya? Yeah? What do you think? Is it easy to get out of Maya there, my friend? Yeah, he knows. Not easy. Yeah. See, the ultimate path. This is the real gold of golds. Is the gold relationship with the golden avatar, Lord Caitanya. That's here. We got it, man. We got the pearl, man. And we're giving pearls out, man. What, you don't believe it? You're lost, man. It's true. I ain't lying anymore. I love truth, man. I love to speak it, man. I got the order to speak the truth, man. From your Prabhupada out there that you guys have been worshiping but don't know very well. Oh, Prabhupada was very enthusiastic that I was preaching this, sharing the real teachings of Lord Caitanya, distributing the Ras to others. Oh, he was so excited, man. He was beaming in bliss, doing exactly what I want you to do. Oh, this has my full approval. Do more of that. His fingers, he had his dunda pointed this way. Hey, you. Hey, you. Do it. It wasn't pointed that way. This way. Poked me. Okay. He used to point his cane. I almost got Prabhupada's cane. Then the guy Maya came over and took the guy out of the ballpark. The guy was going to send me Prabhupada's cane. That would have been great, man. Maybe he still will someday. I'll display it on the wall here. You can see it in the back. We'll take people on tour. Prabhupada's cane. Yeah. Go ahead, Lolita.
Yeah. I'm seeing there is a milk drinker in the Sangha.
Oh, is there? Let me see the milk drinker. Where's the milk drinker? What's his name or her name? Oh,
Fernando Rodriguez.
Fernando was a milk drinker? I thought he was over that. What
Well,
happened?
he's talking about eating meat. He doesn't like Christians because
Oh,
they
the
eat
milk
meat.
drinker. Okay. Christians eat animals. They don't. Yeah, yeah. I prefer always Vaishnavas. Yeah, okay. Well, you haven't. Oh, the only Vaishnavas you've really met are here. See what you're saying. You prefer Vaidhi. That's that stuff we're scraping out of you if you're willing. You know, this is this mentality. This is actually offensive. This will keep you from steady bhakti. There are many Christians that are meat eaters, but have the mercy of Christ. And they have realizations to back it more than those Vaishnavas you're glorifying. That's all superficial. See, you're glorifying the superficial there. You're thinking you know how many Vaishnavas I know that are like that mentality? I consider it contaminating. I consider it offensive. Oh, you don't believe me, Fernando? Well, shoot, tangling with the wrong guy. Lord Caitanya, he gave love of God to meat eaters, to Muslims. Dude, there was once pastime right there. A person who sowed. He was a meat eater. Worst beef eater. Beef eater. Fernando, beef eater. And he was. Ooh, he was. How come Srivas didn't? He didn't. You said you prefer to associate with Vaishnavas, but Srivas was associating with a beef eater, intimate. Guy was sewing clothes for Srivas at his house. Ooh. And simply because he was serving a real Vaishnava, Srivas, an intimate associate, he got love of Krishna. Go ahead, Lalita. What?
I know a lot of vegetarians who are trying to kill my bhakti, who are trying
Yeah,
to
there
kill
you go.
Krishna, putanas, real putanas.
Yeah. See? So I'm teaching here the deeper principles, the principles that Vaidhi Bhaktas don't understand. See? I prefer to be with real devotees, even if they're beef eaters, that have the real mercy of the Lord, simply because they got the mercy of a devotee. See, that meat eater got the mercy of a devotee. Doesn't mean that he stopped eating. He probably still ate meat. The Lord didn't say, well, I'm going to give you bhakti if you stop eating meat. No, he just gave him bhakti. It is up to him that what he does, he saved him. Simply because he believed in his devotees. He served his real intimate associate, Srivas Thakur. That is the secret here. You notice I don't ask people, what are you eating? What aren't you eating? What are you drinking? What aren't you drinking? Did you have a beer yesterday or not? The only time it could become a problem, go ahead, what?
The Lord is merciful. He doesn't ask that. It's for everybody. Come as you are. It is for everybody. Drunks, smokers, meat eaters, fish eaters, everybody.
The only thing is, if it's in the way, see, like people, they drink too much, or they eat too much, or they, what do you call, eat, yeah, whatever it is. What if you're doing too much of anything? If it gives a problem here, then I might mention something like, "Hey, man, how about reducing that a little bit? It's getting in the way." See, so that's the idea, and this is the deeper teaching. Otherwise, you're stuck on that level, and it's very offensive because you can meet a real devotee, and then you'll judge them by external, by what they eat or don't eat, or what rule they're following or not following. And then you just became offensive to a real devotee, and your consciousness goes down automatically. You got to learn to see the symptoms of ecstatic devotion. Forget about this eating or not eating. That's Vaidhi Bhakti. Give me a meat eater that loves God truly, genuinely. Give me their association. I don't care. You know, they love God. That means the Lord has given himself to them. This was the test that Srivas was put by Lord Caitanya. See, Nityananda wasn't following any rules. He was a fish eater or beef eater or whatever eater. He did just, whatever they served him, he ate. This is Nityananda. He's avadut. He didn't even wear clothes. He just rip them off and walk down the street. What are you going to do? Going to judge him? Well, in Vaishnavism, you're supposed to wear clothes or a dhoti or this or that. I'm not going to have faith in Nityananda. He didn't wear clothes. Oh, he ate fish or whatever he ate at that person's house. I ain't going to have faith in him. But look how ecstatic he is. He had the symptoms of having the Lord living inside him. And the Lord tested him. Said, hey, throw that guy out. Nityananda, look at him, doesn't follow any rules. He eats this, eats there, does all these things. Get him rid of him. The Brahmins, like Fernando, are going to throw you out of their association. Fernando. There are a lot of Fernandos out there.
There are meat eaters here in the Sangha who received the mercy.
Yeah.
So that's a proof.
Yeah, that's proof, man. The Lord's, hey, are you following a real devotee, man? Actually, people think that's really offensive. Look at Gauri. I'm trying to get you over offenses. You think you see it the wrong way. You got to look who has received the mercy of Lord Caitanya or the mercy of Jesus Christ. They have symptoms. They're very jolly and blissful and ecstatic, and they don't judge you. Unless they're preaching, they to judge the difference between spirit and matter, like I'm judging here. I'm making a call, Fernando, or anybody else. I make a call. Hey, man, that's an obstacle. You're judging things by external standards. I judge by internal standards. Did you serve a real Vaishnava? Even if that Vaishnava ate meat, are you serving them? Do you believe in them? Do you believe their word? Do you trust that word? Well, I don't know. I can't because they eat meat, or they do this, or they don't do that, or they got a girlfriend, or they, Well, oh yeah, okay.
Oh my God.
No mercy for you. We'll give it to Amy. We'll give it to Fanny. These people, they're just nice, ordinary people, but they believe this word here. Not blindly. It touches them. They feel it. It makes them happy. That's how it's the word of a devotee making you happy. If it's making you morose and you hear the word of a real devotee, it's called purification. It's called that you're attached to something that's bullshit, man.
Yeah.
It rubs you the wrong way. I hate this guy. How dare he attack my concept? Oh, I'm here to attack the concept. If it's false identity, we get rid of false IDs here. See, you got to understand the real. Be in the real. See, I'm in the Word of God. I'm in the Word of Lord Caitanya. I'm in the pastimes and those teachings. I uncloak the symbolisms, the pastimes, the metaphors, so you can understand what is the real path, man. The real path. So, what did Srivas say? I will never get rid of Nityananda. You live in his body, man. You've given yourself to him. He's ecstatic like you. I'll never, he can go in a bar, become a drunk, doesn't matter. You'll never leave that guy. And I'm not leaving him either. He's welcome at my house to stay as long as he wants. See? That's a real devotee. That's a real teaching. That's the real truth. Who's like that? Go ahead, Lalita.
The only sin is not believing in you. That's the only sin.
Yeah, because it can't remain, because what I say is very true. It's as it is. See, Fernando, and I just say this as a teaching. I just try to help, so you can come to this platform. Otherwise, you're stuck there at that platform. That'll make you unsteady in bhakti. You may get a little ecstatic, and then you'll be on your face again with that concept. So that's good. I'm glad you brought it forward. I love stuff. Give me more ammunition. What else you got? Show me your cards, man.
It's very true what you say, because people can have a little bit of belief, but then being attached on those old rules and poof, I've seen it. It's not the first time that I see it falling down.
Oh, yeah.
So I react on that.
Got my ex-wife. She got a guru who's preaching renunciation, Narayan renunciation, austerities, all that stuff, and she boop back right there. Oh, go, all right. Doesn't follow properly. He doesn't follow. He's not a real Vaishnava. He needs to get the mercy of the austere ones, the renounced ones. See that path. Oh, yeah, he can. Yeah. Even though it's called ungratefulness, she fell into that, and she got it from the beginning. She was getting it, and then she fell into it on her face like that. Never came out of it, because she never believed my word. I was preaching to her for years. I said, listen, this is it. This is it. You lost a great thing. Your hands are all messed up from just putting your flowers for the deities. For what? These guys don't even like you. This is what you do. These Radhakund Babajis, they didn't even like it. They just treated her so mean. She was locked in her room by her new boyfriend. Horrible, And taking great pride in renunciations and austerities, and not believing in this. Well, hey man, this is my life and soul. That's proof in itself. She's on the wrong path. I believe in this with all my heart now, from all these tests I went through. And look what it does. You guys are saying, yeah, it's really true. I mean, you convince even me. Okay, I was convinced now. I saw the bullshit out there, all the lies and the cheating and all the false paths being taught, or the lesser teachings. And I've come to this conclusion. Now I'm doubly convinced when you guys are saying, yeah, this really is, and so how, this is why we've won, man. You guys, your arguments are weak, whatever it is, So, if you come here, and it's good, present all your ideas and let us correct them. And I'll use the scriptures. You can check all this. You can check all these things. Srivas having a meat-eating Muslim, sewing his clothes, serving him with a nice attitude. See? And the Lord gave him bhakti, pure bhakti, gave him darshan, just like my second disciple got darshan. She wasn't a vegetarian. He's just an ordinary person eating what people eat in Sweden. Businesswoman. Yeah, well, Krishna didn't wait. Didn't tell her you got to change your mood. Even then, I didn't tell you got to eat this or don't eat that. See, this is how it really works. And Krishna told her, "Oh, because of your guru, you're getting my darshan." See, obviously bona fide here, huh? Krishna himself said that. I don't believe you, Gauri. Well, how about Lalita? Do you believe her? You know, you think she's getting Krishna's darshan every day? And Radha, you think you could read the pastimes like her? Anybody? Hey, how about you, Radhanath? Can you read the pastimes like Lalita or Johan? Huh? Come on, show us. Show us your real guru. This is real guru, man. Reading the pastimes like Lord Caitanya read them in ecstasy, and his devotees do. Yeah, that's a disciple of mine. Let's see if you can do that. Nobody will come forward. They can't. They're a little hiding in the darkness, see, in the shadows, like the deep state. Ooh, Vaishnavism has a deep state. I didn't know that. Well, now we're learning, huh? Hey, come learn about the deep state in Vaishnavism. See, you notice people exposing the deep state, they know the deep state, they know the Illuminatis and everything. Well, who's going to expose the deep state in Vaishnavism? I guess we got the job, huh? Yeah, Lalita too, and others here. Let's see what Fernando says. Fernando, I have many different devotees. I have met many different devotees. You have any kind of people, they all understand that not killing animals is a prerequisite for compassion. See, you haven't even met a devotee except here, really, because compassion is to liberate people regardless. I mean, you don't know the compassion of the Lord. You have to see it manifested now through devotees. Lord Caitanya liberated people without judging them that you're compassionate or not compassionate. That's not unconditional love. Prerequisite for compassion. Prerequisite is here? Hearing long enough to develop. You see that we have ironclad arguments and truths here. See? That's the prerequisite. You come and turn your camera on, man. Lord Caitanya says, my devotees, they set the price for this bhakti. And we've reduced the price so much because there's so much compassion here. I ain't judging you. Oh, go to your friends out there who are the prerequisite for compassion that they don't even have. They're judging you. I'm sorry, you can't get love of God. You can't worship Krishna. Because you eat animals, and therefore you don't get love of God. And that person telling you that doesn't even have love of God. So what kind of power do they have, Fernando? You know what I say? Those so-called prerequisites of commitment, they're worse than beef eaters usually. You know why? And why they don't have love of God? Because they criticize real Vaishnavas. That is worse than eating beef. The beef eater didn't criticize Srivas, but many Brahmins did. They wanted to throw Srivas's house into the Ganga where the ecstatic kirtans were. They criticized, and they didn't get love of God. Even Lord Caitanya said, these Brahmins are there. Those who are intellectuals, those who are scholars, they don't get love of Godhead. But this beef eater will. Because he serves real devotees. He believes in the words of real devotees. He believes in the real conceptions they preach. That ain't a real conception. That's a conditional Lord, man. My Lord is the Lord of Kali Yuga, man. Anyone and everyone. Whatever your position, demon or demigod, meat eater or non-meat eater, can get this love of God when the gold is here, and it's here. like it was then. He gave love of God to anyone and everyone who would accept his association. That's the prerequisite, Fernando and everyone else. The Lord Caitanya says, if one doesn't accept me, that it means accepts his ecstasy and accepts his conception that comes from that intense, intimate ecstasy. If they don't accept it, they will be destroyed. I don't care. That's not compassion by giving prerequisites like that. This is compassion by giving prerequisites like this. The truth of this incarnation, the truth of the spiritual power of a real devotee. That's proof of the potency here. And those who do eat meat here, see, the Lord doesn't abandon them. But they don't even have the Lord teaching these lower things, these vitey things. Oh, the prerequisite. You don't even know what compassion is. Compassion is liberating people like that by telling them the truth, even though they don't like it and they spit on these truths. This is compassion, is to tell you the truth and give you a chance to get out of that mentality that causes you to smell. Ugh, stinks. That mentality stinks here. We don't like the smell of that. We like the smell of flowers, Fernando. You know, the truth, the conclusive truth. Lord Caitanya gives intimacy and ecstasy just by those who believe in his devotees' words that they even prove in his books. The deeper, conclusive, confidential meaning, uncloaking the symbolism and the metaphors and the real pastimes and the essence. Oh, you believe in this, you'll be free of all those offenses. You won't fall on your face and go back and forth and back and forth. Lalita was telling me, sometimes he's on his face, and I see myself, sometimes you're on your face and you get up and back and forth, back and forth. So keep telling us, and I'll keep shooting bullets. You give me the ammunition, I'll put it in the gun and shoot it back at you. I got to have ammunition, Thank you, Fernando. Thank you very much. This is good for everybody to understand these principles, these subtle principles. Otherwise, that holds people back, holds them on the Vaidhi platform. You become offensive to even a Christian who has the mercy of Christ. That's why I say, am I offensive to any of these gurus? I say, I give you a chance. Come and prove. Come and prove that you have the mercy of the Lord, that you're a real guru and you can deliver your disciples. But to me, what kind of guru is this? He said prerequisite is compassion and all that. It's Vaidhi. Prabhupada began there. Are you ready to move on, Fernando, and everybody else like that? You want to move deeper now? You want postgraduate teachings? Or are you going to hold on to that idea? So we'll see what he says. Oops. Oops. There we go. Had 2 pints of Guinness yesterday. Oh, yeah. I had a beer yesterday myself. Yeah. I like a little beer. It tastes good, man. I'm in a hot place. Yeah. Did Krishna say, go on, I ain't going to manifest any ecstasy in you. You had a beer. Yeah. I liked it. I enjoyed it, But I had 1 beer. I didn't have, or 2, two's okay, But, I had one of the devotees here, I won't mention any names, came in after him and his friend. Also, another devotee came and said, well, we had 7 pints. 7 friggin' pints? Then you get, then there might be a problem. 1 or 2 pints, and if you're not an alcoholic, And you're like Dean, you have manifest that you enjoy these classes and you really relish the kata and you feel happy to be with devotees. No problem, man. You're better off than Radhanath, who follows Mace. I don't know, maybe, if he does. Even if he did. Or Narayana, they follow strictly all the rules and regulations, and Dean Smith with his 2 pints yesterday is better off because he likes being around real devotees of Vrindavan, man. We prove it every day. But they don't even care to be here, man. They don't like this. A lot of times they criticize this. Ooh, that's worse than eating beef, is criticizing real devotees with real bhakti, man. Ooh, that is worse than eating. Fault finders. Lord Caitanya gave ecstatic devotion to even beef eaters, but fault finders, oh, no, sorry. Until you give that up, you don't get it. Right? You come here, we'll throw you in the washing machine, Fernando, and anybody else like that. And you'll get cleaned of that. Sin, finding faults with devotees based on what you do or eat or whatever that. What, you haven't read Bhagavad Gita, Fernando? My devotee, even if they do the most abominable thing, but don't misunderstand, by the way. My devotee is, I forgot that verse. It's really a good one. You should read it. Even though they do the most abominable thing, if they're my devotees, see, they have real devotee, they will be cleansed. They will be purified. Because the Lord takes charge of that devotee. A lot of people, they weaponize, and in religion, even in ISKCON, your food is often weaponized. Man, they put too much sugar in it. They make you a diabetic. Lots of grease. It's not for everybody. I can't eat a lot of times. I can't eat the food in the ISKCONs and all that stuff. Makes me ill. They weaponize, and lack of proteins, and they get weak-minded. They do this in torture stuff. It's not about that. You eat what you feel is good for you. And if it's not, the Lord will show you. I don't need to, if you want to practice like that, is like, well, worshiping God is I have to have somebody out there tell me how to eat, what do you want? Why don't you go to Biden? What's the big difference? Go to Biden. You're on that level, everybody. Go to Biden. He would love to tell you what to eat. Or Bill Gates. He knows exactly what you should eat, and he wants you to eat bugs. Go listen to these people. They'll tell you eat halava, lots of it, lots of nice greasy, and a lot of sugar, man, white sugar. Okay, maybe if your body's strong enough, you can handle it and you like it and it's okay, great, your choice. But don't judge anybody that, I went to a devotee's house. He was an astrologer. He's an astrologer. Nice devotee, man. Initiated by Prabhupada and everything. And he didn't want me to come at first. I said, oh, come on. He says, I'm embarrassed. I said, well, why are you embarrassed? I said, okay. He says, in my refrigerator, you'll see a chicken. A chicken in my fridge. And he says, I'm sorry, I just can't be a vegetarian. And, I was getting very sick. And I actually had to go to a doctor, And the doctor said, your body ain't fit for being a vegetarian. You need to eat meat. You need to eat. And he did, and he got healthy again. So what should he do? He did something that actually worked. He did something that didn't work. For him, what? We got to be cookie cutter Vaishnavism. Everybody's got to be the same. Oh, you got to do this and do this and do this. Eat no meat. No meat, no fish, no intoxication, no tea, no coffee. No. Everybody. That's the government wants that, doesn't it? Everybody has to be the same. Everybody gets the same program. See? No adjustment for your mentality or how you're wired up or anything. Everybody gets the same. That's very beginner, okay? That's what people, the sheeple, want that. Just tell us what to do. Tell us what to eat. Bugs, okay, we eat bugs. Vaishnavism, religion is like that too. You notice a lot of them are the same rules for everybody. The same fast, even though in one day you're maybe not meant to fast, everybody fasts, right? Everybody's got to do it. Even though maybe a person's body needs something else. No, that's the day for you because everybody's doing it. It's a herd. Follow the herd. Are you ready to move on from herd Vaishnavism and find out the real essential principles? Well, you're going to have to come here and get purified. And it may rub you the wrong way, may burn things up. But, that's how you elevate. You got to be around people of a different mentality, different consciousness. Now, Arjuna ate meat, Krishna ate meat. They went hunting. What do you do when you hunt? They don't just hunt animals and then not eat them. That's not even the American Indians do that. So people in the Aryan race, they're not like we hunt animals just to hunt them. They ate the friggin' animals. They ate them. Sita ate deer. Ram would kill the deers, and they would eat the deers. That was their food. Oh, I told you truth. You're not supposed to know that. But the point is, did Krishna intimately associate with Arjuna even though he was eating the deers? Obviously, it wasn't an obstacle. But who teaches this? Well, you won't hear Prabhupada and all these others teach this, even though it's in their books. You cannot be a whore and worship Krishna, right? No, illicit sex for you can't worship. You know how many devotees preach that? Is that really the truth? No. You attracted to Krishna by the words of a devotee? Are you attracted to the real conception? Because that's the Bhagavatam. There are whores right there in their own Bhagavatam, right there on the roof, saying, oh, glorifying Krishna with choice words. They were just naturally attracted, and they were whores, man. Doing this with men all day there in Dwarka. Oh, and they're all devotees in Dwarka too. Oh yeah, they need a little sex. They're out there doing it. They're doing what you would call illicit sex, right? But they had no problem with they were worshiping Krishna. Oh, but they didn't just have sex once a year just to have a baby. You know how many marriages broke up because of that? You know how many cuckoo people went cuckoo because of these things? Fernando, you should be kissing the ground that you met somebody like this here to put your head on straight, to deprogram you. Give me a Dean Smith having his 2 pints and just let these big Brahmins and big sannyasis stay far away. I was never attracted to them. I like real people, man. Even Krishna, the real Krishna likes real people. The student community are usually the last to come. The Lord Caitanya, the student community is very expert at avoiding the real Krishna conscious movement. That's in Prabhupada's books. That's in Adi Lila, Chaitanya Charitamrita. That was the one section that the Lord wanted to get, the student community, because they were very expert at avoiding the real Krishna conscious movement. Oh, how does that translate into nowadays? Oh, ISKCON is very expert at avoiding the real Krishna consciousness. They're the student community, aren't they? Oh yeah, Gaudiya Smriti, they're also in Gaudiya Math. They're also very expert avoiding the real Krishna conscious movement. How do you know they're avoiding? Well, because we exist, because we manifest what's real. The real Krishna consciousness, ecstatically worshiping the holy name with great bliss and great revelations that you're hearing right now, this second, that you don't hear anybody preach. None, not even one. But that's what's in the books. I preach what's in there that nobody seems to see except here. I bet we got Fernando going, man. He likes challenges. Means what? Don't eat plants, it's cruelty. So because I like to eat steak, fries, and Krishna can't come to me. Bullshit. Whoa! Now if we got Fanny, that's what I like to hear. See? Our Fanny, who is so ecstatic, loves the devotees. Do I judge her for eating a steak? Did I even ask her, did you eat steak today? Oh, sorry. I can't. No compassion for you. Look at
She
her.
didn't know about that rule. She
She
didn't
didn't
know that.
know about that rule. I
It
could have
was
never seen
plain
that.
English.
Yeah. I'm just thinking, wow, look at the qualities of a real devotee. Listen to this, Fernando. Check it out, man. Do you see how Krishna's really working, trying to teach some really deep things that the devotees don't know? See, they don't know these things. Look at Fanny. See, this is Krishna's really working here. Oh, Lord Chaitanya's really working, showing you. He's a steak eater, eating a nice little steak, man. Fries and steak, man. Sounds good to me. Krishna can't come to me? Bullshit. Well, it's bullshit because he comes to her, Fernando. So I guess that philosophy of that guy is not quite working. But this works, doesn't it? Krishna comes to her. What do you think? People get the mercy of Jesus on the planet. They got the mercy, and they were eating fish. They're fishermen, man. Did Saint Paul and Peter? Did they stop eating meat? No, they were out eating whatever. It didn't matter. And I'm not pushing to be a meat eater. You do what you do. You don't worry. If you come here, hey man, my Lord, just for you coming here and listening to all these truths that are very true and the real mentality of this merciful Lord to find out what real mercy is, he's good. Oh, you had a beer yesterday. Oh, you just don't do too much. But just by the fact you come here, he'll exonerate you of all that, and you'll feel like Fanny. She probably had a nice steak yesterday, but look, she loves this. She feels ecstatic. Her heart's going deeper. It's not an obstacle for her. Just like that Muslim. See, you got the darshan. 550 years ago, Fanny's also getting the same kind of thing. So, Fernando, that argument of that devotee, you should kick it like a football into the stands, man. Just kick it hard. Boom, man. Kick that false idea out, man. And you'll be blissful. You'll stay blissful. Just keep giving me all these false conceptions. It's my job. By the word of a real guru, ignorance is destroyed. And man, just lay it on over here, man. I gotta practice, man. It's like, they're like baseballs to me, and I got the bat. You either get this is my bat. Come on, Fernando. Throw a fat. See if you can get a ball behind this bat, past this bat, man. See, sometimes it's like this, boom, and sometimes it's like boom, home run. Sri Chaitanya said that one who eats cow should be reborn and murdered as a cow, and millions of times as hairs on the cow have said. Fanny, do you agree? See, and I'll tell you, there's different things that the Lord said that Prabhupada said. There's another thing that Lord Caitanya said himself. Those who who worship the Lord with pure ecstatic devotion are saved from the consequences of a lower birth. See, consequences of lower birth, you might be attracted. You're a Sudra and you eat meat. Sudras usually eat meat or cow or mutton or fish or whatever. They do it in, yeah. Or all those people in Navadvip, you know how many people eating fish and mutton and stuff like that there, and chickens in Navadvip, where Lord Caitanya was born? Are they all going down there? No, Lord Caitanya is come to give himself here and to Sudras who have habits or whatever they do. You're saved from the consequences of a lower birth. How is that practical? I'll tell you, Fernando, and you've had some experience of that. You get this ecstatic devotion which burns away all sins. Whatever indiscrepancies are there, ecstatic devotion burns it away. That's why Nityananda was eating meat sometimes. He would just, if he would go into a house, they gave him fish or God knows what, probably beef even. He'd eat it. And this Brahmins like you, Fernando, and your friends out there that you believe in, had complaints against Nityananda. This is also in Chaitanya Bhagavat, in the last Anchalila teaching. I'll give it to you now because it's postgraduate teaching here. Brahmin comes up to him, just like Fernando. But this guy was a little more humble than Fernando. See, he comes up and says, Lord Caitanya, I'm a little confused, man. This Nityananda, they call him Maharaj and Sannyasi, kind of like they call Gohari Maharaj in his divine grace and his bhakti this and bhakti that. They call him like that. But look, he doesn't follow any rules, man. He goes against even the Vedas and the Vedic teachings and all of this. How do I reconcile it? I'm trying to follow the principles of religion. Like a person is compassionate if they don't eat meat. They only kill vegetables. They only eat the fruits and the milk that the Lord kicked those milk drinkers out of his kirtan. How do I reconcile this? So only the Lord and his real intimate devotees can do it, if you're fortunate to hear what you're hearing right now, Fernando. And you can check it all in Chaitanya Bhagavat, in the 4th or 5th chapter of Anchalila. He said, well, actually, Lord Caitanya was compassionate. This is compassion. You want to know real compassion is, Fernando? Is everything I've been saying to you now. This is called compassion, to get you over that obstacle, that offense worse than eating beef, criticizing Vaishnavas who may have the actual spirit of love of Krishna or love of Christ, simply because of what they eat. And Nityananda was eating these things, right? Eating some kind of meats. How do I reconcile it? And the Lord said, well, you can't imitate Nityananda. See, that's why the Vaidhi teaching is there. They can't imitate Nityananda. See, sin is not born in Nityananda, no matter what he does. Sin doesn't take birth. Why? Because he was an ecstatic devotee, right? Right? What was Nityananda's quality? He relished mellows. The ecstasy of God burns away all indiscrepancies. Not that Nityananda or any devotee goes out of their way to be sinful or whatever, what sin is in the mode of ignorance. See, sin, what is, people should ask, what is sin? Sin is just action in the mode of ignorance. But Lord Shiva commits actions in the mode of ignorance. But why is he untouched? Because he knows principles like we know principles. But we're not just, we comment on those principles. What are those principles Lord Shiva knows? He's out there smoking pot, to elevate his devotees sometimes. He has sex with his wife, more than to just have babies, He goes to crematoriums, associates with the mode of ignorance. But why is he considered Lord Shiva auspicious, transcendentally auspicious, even though he does all these things? He eats, who knows what he does. in his work. Go to bars, go to crematoriums, put skulls around his neck, never take a bath. What's his quality? Again, he had what Nityananda has. He has what many devotees have here. He has what Fanny has. She's part of the family. It is her habit to eat steak. The Lord ain't waiting to save her. He's just working on you, Fernando, trying to help you out. Get you over this one. That fence. It's a fence. And anybody else. They have the qualities the Lord gives himself and burns up everything. You're saved from the consequences of a lower birth. We are all lower birth, most of us. I'm also a lower birth. Yeah. But the Lord lives in me. He's the one, he's the cleaner. He's the cleanser. I'll just have faith in that. Lord, I can't follow all. I'll just do like Bhaktivinoda Thakur, who also said, I can't follow. He was also one of these meat eaters. He ate chicken, mutton, and fish. And he's in our line. Can you imagine? Thank you, Lord, for sending some example like that. Only in those last times he took, just to show the example, he took a real guru. He took a guru. Questionable if he was really real. And then he became a vegetarian just to show the example of Vaidhi Bhakti. But he was eating all this meat, and he was writing 100 Vaishnava books of the best quality. What's the real principle here is what we teach here. I don't care if 1,000 vegetarians don't like this. I don't care, even we have, people here, they don't care. We have vegans here, they also don't, you can't do this. Okay, well, you do what you do. But at least you like Lord Caitanya. That's the main thing. That's what Lord Caitanya. At least you like my devotees. They may not be like you. That's why I say you can come here, you can believe it, think. You can, thing is, as long as you don't judge people, be a vegetarian, follow ecodices, do all these things, but don't judge people here who don't do that, because you're going to get at best the same love that they got. Love of Lord Caitanya. Go ahead there, Lalita.
But don't propagate those old rules, because that will... don't propagate.
No, it's an obstacle now.
You're not the Raganuga.
Yeah. Well, the thing is, you see, that's backtracking. If you want to follow personally because it's your habit. See, like it's a habit of a lower class person, which many of us are, to eat meat and to do things in the mixed modes of passion and ignorance and some goodness, maybe. It's mere mixtures, but we're not depending on other paths other than surrender to the Lord, like the Vrindavan devotees did. We can do it. We're given the Bhakti Lata Bij that makes us attracted to this path. See, attracted to this purification. That's why over and over again, we're going to teach the world that you're better off here, even as you are, whatever you are and your habits are, even beef eating, if that's what it is, than the big sannyasis out there who are adverse to this preaching, adverse to this ecstasy. But you're not. That's why you see Krishna, what's Fernando and everybody else like you? What is Krishna trying to tell you by the example of Fanny? Oh, Johan. All right. Johan.
Hare Krishna, except Mama Basic can say something from the Shastras for helping devotees.
Yes.
Because I think a lot of devotees have to read this amazing book. Sorry, the Past on Lord Jagannath. And what we read in,
yes.
The Lord is telling, but I don't follow any tradition. Tradition when you come to accept offering. Of my devotees. So there's a past on of Baba Raghunodasa. So it just won't make, I'm frozen. I could cheat. I
We
hope you
hear
can
you
hear.
still.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I hear you.
Yeah, and then we have also the pastime.
Oops, we lost you. Sorry. But let me just explain what you said there. Also, it's just, see, with the example of Johann right there in front of you, he's showing you how important these truths are. You see the ecstasy in that. That's God. That's God's feelings coming through his devotees. He's showing you these things. Yeah. So Lord Chaitanya said different things. He was in different moods, and he was, doing different pastimes. But you need the real associate to sort them all out. Like Fernando, for example. Lord Chaitanya also taught us in his student pastimes. Oh, you don't have tilak on. Oh, you're like, your head is like part is in the crematorium. You're like, you shouldn't even be seen. So the Lord taught that. Lord Chaitanya taught that. Is that really apply to everybody? Because Gohari hadn't got no tilak. Lalita's got no tilak. Yeah. It's just, this is the rule. See, you notice the harshness. Oh, yeah, yeah. Go ahead.
They need all those externals. They need that to be reminded on Krishna and to invoke the desire inside of him. All kinds, so many things. We don't need that anymore. We have
Don't
this
you?
contact immediately.
Yeah.
We follow a bona fide spirit of a master who said, finish now. I'm saving you from all these rules and all these difficult things. Now, the mercy is here. Just accept it.
Yeah.
That's how
Just
we are
it's
saved.
yeah, it's faith and where the real line is. That's it, man. That's it for everybody. And then, of course, if there's a problem, you're eating too much, or doing this or what. But that's why it doesn't have to be artificial. You can be yourself now. You can work a job. You just by having faith in what we're doing and coming regularly, and becoming attracted, increasingly attracted to the talks about Krishna and the absolute truth and the real conception and all these things. Uh, the name, chanting, and ecstatic attraction. This is the most powerful path, and very rarely just demonstrated on this planet. Because when it is like it is now, people get delivered. They get liberated, more than liberated, get more than salvation. You get the highest benediction of love of Krishna. Life's ultimate goal, chapter 23, life's ultimate goal, love of Godhead. You get that here. Where do you see this? So what I'm teaching, if it was wrong, you wouldn't see these things. And you see, I'm taking time. I'm telling you, it's also in the Shastras. But you got to also see, the different levels and who Lord Chaitanya is talking to. Because if you're going to side with that, it's like his early pastimes when he says a Brahmin scholar and teaching, no tilak, then don't go to that devotee with no tilak. Did Nityananda wear any tilak? He didn't even wear any friggin' clothes. And the best of all Brahmins, Srivas Thakur had him living in his house. Didn't follow any rules. Ate beef. I don't know. Ate beef. They ate chicken or whatever, fish or mutton, whatever they were eating back then. But even if a beef was, but even he just eat it. He had the mind of Jesus. Like Jesus says, eat what's put before you. But if they will listen to you, that's the main thing. Bhaktisiddhanta was more or less in that mood. He said, oh yeah, yes, make a coffee shop if people will come and hear about the philosophy, hear about these truths. Let's see what Fernando, let's see if he's convinced yet. Call me a milk drinker. You milk drinker.
But I'm always very sweet to him if I compare what he says to me.
Well,
Isn't
yeah, I
that
know. Well, I give him a dose of his own. I reciprocate as the thorn plucks out a thorn. He knows. He comes at me, I come at him.
There I am the good cup then.
Yeah,
but I can call him a milk drinker. It's the first time that I give him a name.
Yeah, good cop, bad cop. That's going to get you there, Fernando. You got to have good cop, bad cop. They don't eat meat, but they will turn a blind eye to pedophilia and abuse because apparently, yeah, exactly. So much hypocrisy. You think that's better in the eyes of Krishna? You turn a blind eye to the pedophile gurus, you let them go on. I was in Radhakund, this pedophile guru, man, even my ex-wife took initiation, and she would always just secretly reject him. It was secret. And the guy said, I'll get new disciples and, doing what he wants to do with these disciples and their children. And they all have great faith in them. Just like the world. What is the difference between this bullshit? That's why, hey, let me repeat what Krishna says. Abandon all variety of religion and these religious friggin' leaders, man. Now you can do it, man. You got real shelter here, man. Real deals here. The book made manifest is here in this Sangha. These devotees here. You ain't going to get a better shelter than this. That's why, I don't have to. I mean, you guys are bringing it up, and that's okay. It's good to bring it up so we get the shit out of you, man, to that crapola. But, I'd rather just, move on and, be on other topics. But if you need to have a little discussion, so we do it. You turn an blind eye to pedophilia, but you're all into just don't eat this and don't eat that. But it's better to rape children. Oh, come on, man. Unbelievable. So anyway, this whole world, this is Kali Yuga, and the Lord is coming here. He'll exonerate everyone. If any real guru or any guru comes here who has some real sincerity, any sannyasi, any of those I smack with this, with the truth. If they will come here and in their heart they see, wow, what you're teaching is the real deal, the Lord will give them real prema that they're just blah, blah, blah talking about and speculating on. Otherwise not. You'll die without it. You'll die with that sin of speculation and hypocrisy. It's a sin. Hypocrisy is a sin. You don't get out of hypocrisy. Well, look at me, man. I'm so clean. I don't eat this. I don't eat that. I follow this and I follow that. I'm so clean. Okay? You don't get out of it that way. But you can do it. Say, hey, man, I'm filthy, Lord. I'm dirty, man, but you're clean. I know who you are. I know what you are. I'm always praying for your mercy, man. I'm always praying for your association. I'm sorry I am what I am, Lord, and you know me. You know as I am, but I know you too. And all I'm doing is I'm just always want to meet with you, rendezvous with you. I know you are my life and my soul. I know that every obstacle will be overcome by my faith in who you really are. And that's the teaching here, is to teach who Krishna really is. What is the real path? The real path that gets you there. What is the real gold? How to relish gold, the golden avatar. That's it, man. And people are very happy that get this. I don't need to tell Fanny, well, you did that. Oh, you can't. No, you do naturally what you do. If Krishna has no problem with it, why should I? Krishna is looking every day you come and say, wow, this is all this wonderful, natural, pure-hearted glorification. Krishna has no problem with you. He's manifesting this truth to you. Why should I? Because you do this or eat this or don't. You're naturally a good person. You won't find anybody like her. She's a very unique person, man. Very unique heart. You, Fernando, try to manifest your qualities of Fanny, and she eats a steak, and you don't do any of that. Ooh. I bet you don't have qualities like her. Different qualities, huh, for Fernando and Fanny. And he's strict vegetarian. Ooh, must be a deeper principle, huh, Fernando, going on here? I love this stuff. I love to preach. I've been waiting for this. Go ahead.
This is typical Jesus preaching. I feel it so deep in my heart. You're really a reformer, really a fighter against hypocrisy, and that's what I hate as well. I can't have hypocrisy. I can't. I love it, Guru Maharaj.
Warrior. Yeah,
Super.
yeah. Sorry, I don't want to be offensive, but you always mention those who go live. But what about all the others like Freddie and Shama, Gori, my husband, and me? Well, maybe go live a little bit because it's what I see. I'm in this dynamic, man. And my memory is not always so great. But if I see you guys more, if you want more, get up there, friend. If I see, then I'll have examples of things. Even Francis, like he's a fantastic devotee, but I barely don't see him much. He's in the
But you also
background.
mentioned Fanny and Amy. It's
Yeah,
an idea that Radha always has.
yeah, yeah. But I mentioned also too because Fanny comments, Amy comments. See, that's part of being seen. I got to see something, man. Otherwise, Francis doesn't comment that much. He's a Hare Krishna and kind of off going to work, or something. I don't know. Dean, I comment on him. I see a lot of comments, man. He shares his heart. Fernando, I make my comments too. He comments. I remember him. You notice I talk about Fernando a lot. Very interesting guy. Nice flavor. Great teaching. It helps me help the devotees. Anybody who listens to these conversations, you can move to the next dimension. Boy, okay. We got people thinking today. That's good. Wow, look at all that. I can't read all these comments, but so many. Okay, I got to take a break, man. Thank you very much. Rest the voice a little bit. Yeah. All right, so we'll adjourn for a while. Meeting adjourned, and we'll be back.